Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I will be analysing a song. Specifically for today's video I will be looking into a Babymetal song entitled Onedari Daisakusen. Now I am a massive Babymetal fan and I have been since 2014, and I've always thought that because they hail from Japan, it's rather interesting to analyse their music, mainly because it's a whole new culture. It's a total culture difference. The Japanese way of life is very different to the traditions and cultures that I've grown up with here in the United Kingdom, and it's always been very interesting to me to research into different cultures around the world. So that being said, let's get started because I feel like I have a lot to cover today. Now, there are lots of different areas of songs that need looking into when you're going to analyse them. For example, the structure of a song, the meaning, the melody, rhythm. But firstly, in order to really begin to analyse Onedari Daisakusen, I think we must roughly translate the song to English as it is in Japanese, like many of Babymetal's songs. I am not fluent in any way with the Japanese language. I know the bare basics of the language, but if you want a deeper understanding word by word of any of Babymetal's songs apart from some of their newer stuff, then there is a specific YouTube channel here called Babymetal, and he's great because he really takes his time to thoroughly dismantle each of their songs and explain it in many different ways so that it's just very easy to understand and digest. I will link his channel in the description box down below. I found him very, very helpful and useful with this kind of thing, and I'm sure that you guys will too. But let's be brief with this because, like I say, I'm not fluent in Japanese. But basically, Onedari means begging. Moving on to Daisakusen, which I believe translates to operation or big mission. So basically the title of this song roughly in English is Begging Operation. This song is sung by 2/3 of Babymetal, who go by the name of Black Babymetal. Now, Black Babymetal are, or were rather at this point, Moa Metal and Yui Metal. And this song is particularly interesting to those outside of Japan, mainly because of the English translations for the lyrics, which we will get into a little bit later on in the video. I could talk for a very, very long time about the lyrics, but to be honest, I don't want to spend the whole entire video just discussing the English translations and why, to quite a few people, it is in some ways a controversial song. The basic meaning to this song is that Yui Metal and Moa Metal are trying to coax their fathers into buying things for them. Within this song, they almost take on the role of little devils, because throughout the song, they flatter their fathers by doing things for them or saying nice things to them in order to entice them basically to spend money on them. Now, for copyright reasons, I don't want to include too much of the actual song itself. However, I do want to include bits and pieces of it here and there to help you guys really understand what I'm talking about. What I will do is leave in the description box down below a link to the full song from start to finish. So if you want to go and check it out, you're more than welcome to. To begin with, I do just want to play the introduction of the song and then we will begin to discuss it after that. So as I mentioned, that is the beginning of the song, and when the song first begins, it's almost immediately obvious that many genres are being mixed here, and that is very common. It's a common trait for all of Babymetal's music. It definitely isn't simply heavy metal. There is a bit of hip hop in there, perhaps, some quite dancey undertones in it too. So we know that at least 3 genres here are being mixed. I love the way that the music builds up over time here with the introduction, and then it doesn't jump straight into things. It doesn't feel rushed here at all in terms of pacing. Strangely enough though, this isn't the common way for other Babymetal songs sung by the Black Babymetal to begin. I mean, let's take for example Sis Anger from their Metal Resistance album. That from start to finish is an incredibly heavy going song in my opinion, and that song only has very, very subtle elements of that kawaii nature within it. Also, just briefly discussing another Black Babymetal piece called Song 4, that has much more of the metal nature in it compared to Onedari Daisakusen, but there's a lot more of the kawaii nature within that song as well, particularly within the lyrics. However, to be honest, I do think that Onedari Daisakusen is this way in melody because of the meaning here. You are trying to put on this cute persona in order to beg your father for materialistic goods. The song as a whole is an incredibly catchy song, especially the chorus. I will always have this in my head after listening to it, and it will be stuck on repeat in my brain for quite some time. Alright, so you just heard the majority of the first verse of this song, and I am not hearing much metal here. What I will say for me though during the verses of this song is that the bass really stands out. I love the sound of a bass guitar, and I don't know what it is, but the bass here just like gives me goosebumps. Like, I love it. The guitars and whatnot, they were apparent for a few moments for the introduction of the song. They had disappeared again here for the first verse. The only thing I can really hear is that bass guitar. But right now, Babymetal are currently embracing the more hip-hop, almost dancey side of the song right now. When going into the chorus though, you will begin to hear the guitars and much more of the heavy metal side of their music coming out again. In my opinion though, it's nothing incredibly heavy, it's nothing, you know, over the top in terms of heavy metal. It's quite a, perhaps gentle isn't really the right word here, but perhaps more of a soft rock sound in my personal opinion, and there's nothing at all wrong with that whatsoever. To be perfectly honest, for me, there's enough metal in this song for there to be that devilish and dark tone to the piece, but then there's also enough of the other genres to give off that kawaii, angelic vibe here, and that mix is very important for Babymetal in general, but particularly I find for the black Babymetal pieces. They have, in my opinion, got the balancing of the elements, the lightness and the darkness right. You don't get too much of the metal genre, which would have possibly made the song feel really heavy, and you don't have too much of the lighter kawaii side of it, which would have left it feeling way too light-hearted when you're taking into consideration the meaning of the song and their intentions with this piece. It's very interesting because you're mixing genres, and by doing that you kind of get a combination of this lightness and the darkness. It's really interesting to me and leads to a very unique sound in itself. The song finishes, and it doesn't finish with me wanting more of the heavy metal side of it or more of the lighter kawaii side of it. It doesn't leave me wanting more of the mix of other genres either. It does a great job, in my opinion, of just emphasising on what the black Babymetal are all about in this particular piece, which, you know, at the end of the day, they are trying to be that mixture of cute and heavy metal. Looking into the structure of the song itself, it follows a basic common structure. You have your introduction, following on from that, the first verse, the first chorus, closely followed by the second verse, the second chorus, a bridge, a repeat of the chorus, and then an outro. But what makes this song unique is not the structure, it is the mix of genres here. Now, I do want to speak about some lyrics or moments of the song which really stood out for me in particular, which I think get across the meaning and message of the song really well. So just after the first verse, we get greeted with Uso demoi, which roughly translates to lies are okay or lies are alright. And also a little bit further along into the song, just before the first chorus, you hear a whispering voice which does say a few lines. Again, sorry for the poor Japanese there, but that basically roughly translates to angel's face, devil's whisper, rather than preaching, give me the money. And to be honest, I really hope that that's what I just said. I don't think it will have been. I dread to think when I just whispered to you guys. But in the song, that's what it translates to anyways. Lyrics like this are an excellent example of just what they're trying to do in the song, the meaning of the song, and to be honest, I could speak for a very long time just about the lyrics, but this video would be very long, and I've already been speaking about this song for quite a while, but please, if you're interested, go and check the lyrics out for yourself. They're very interesting. So, since this is my first time analysing music on here, if you enjoyed this and you want me to make some more of these videos, let me know by leaving this video a big thumbs up or by leaving a comment. What are your thoughts on Onedari Daisakusen? Is this one of your favourite baby metal pieces or is it not? Do you have a song in mind that you'd really like me to look into? Let me know. If you're new here, make sure to click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again in my next video.